the draft as soon as virtus.pro is ready. All right. Now I'm not trying to grow a beard. I could grow a beard really, really easily, but no, I just was too lazy to shave earlier. That's all there is. Tomorrow again. Tomorrow. Okay, so, yeah. Virtus Pro hasn't really read it up yet. Fnatic is ready, but then again, let's see. Uh, maybe there's an update right there. Okay, somebody's okay, yeah. That's my stream link. That's correct. It starts, boys, so let's go straight into our first one. Alright everybody, virtus.pro versus Fnatic is our first game today, and as you can see the draft has already started. Fnatic banned out Tyrande right away, and we have now Dragonshire as the starting map in our best of 3 here at the Heroes Battle Arena, powered by Twitch and G2A. virtus.pro, of course, they have a couple of options here. We've seen oftentimes even a Sonya banned against Fnatic, even though for most teams she is not the priority ban. But Fnatic is extremely good with all of that aggression, and that Sonya in particular. Quacknix is usually playing the hero, which is why we occasionally see even that. The more popular bans these days are Kel'Thas, ETC, and ETC is actually banned out in this case now as well. The whole idea is, of course, to get rid of that Mosh Pit and the Divine Shield, but even without Uther as a combo, it's still a very powerful hero that can, of course, disrupt the opponent quite a bit, and on Dragonshire here in particular. Kel'Thas as a first ban, our first pick, is not really, well, it's not really out of the ordinary. It's actually like very common to see that these days. It's either him or Tyrande that most of the players are going for as the first pick. For virtus.pro now, though, after we had those two bans, they have a few options of how they can start into the draft. Once again, it's more of a question of how valuable Jaina is to them. We see very, very often, especially in the European scene, a high focus on Falstad over Jaina, but both of them are absolutely playable, and it comes down to the personal preference a bit. But in terms of the heroes that you could start with, there's also an Uther to consider, there's a Mirrodin to consider. It really just depends of what kind of draft they want to go for. Do they want to go for some kind of a push comp? Do they want to go for a bit of a sniper comp or anything along those lines? If you have a Mirrodin, for example, he's probably right now the best tank in the game next to ETC. He's definitely the best solo tank, and there is a Mirrodin pick already. But they didn't really have to go for it. They have so many options to branch out at the start right now that it was an option for them, but it's not a necessity. And the Tacita showcases that already quite a bit, because with Tacita you are quite flexible into the next phase of the draft, but you don't really commit to something like an Uther just yet. But you have options to play Tacita solo. You can play him together with another healer like Brightwing, for example, and that's what we could see from virtus.pro here, who's of course a team that has also shown a lot of aggression in the past. Fnatic right now with the Kel'Thas already in their midst, they could start to head into a few. They could actually, for example, head into that Uther that we've just been talking about. They could think about the Sonya that I mentioned earlier. Fnatic loves to play Sonya, and there she is. An Uther would be very, very nice with Sonya, since you can use the Divine Shield to keep her alive. Tacita was already taken away, so he's not longer an option in that case. But they could also decide, if they don't want to go for an Uther, to add another healer. And in their case, it is actually a Kharazim. Now, Kharazim is these days extremely interesting, since he can be played as a melee assassin damage kind of dealer as well. Team Liquid does that quite a lot. Fnatic now with the Kharazim, they have options here, but it's likely that they're going to play him as one of their just like healers and play him with Transcendence on level 1 instead of the Iron Fist, which is still an option. For virtus.pro, when it comes to the bans, Ethereal is their choice. So yeah, they actually like pretty fast with the draft today. I kind of like it. It's really nice that teams are not using the entire time pool anymore, but I really like getting into it. With Fnatic now going for their ban, considering what we are having on the side of virtus.pro, they could really think about banning out some of the damage dealers. Falstad and Reyna are of course very strong options that we see for virtus.pro. There's also still an Uther to consider, so they have to be a little bit careful how they continue the draft now, since if they let Uther go through and decide to ban one of the damage dealers, virtus.pro has an option to go into a melee assassin that is then not only assisted by an Uther with the Divine Shield, but also by the Tacita, and that's of course usually pretty difficult to deal with. So Fnatic might think about banning Uther instead, and that's exactly what we're seeing here. They ban out Uther, therefore limiting virtus.pro's chances a bit, or at least the potential aggression with the melee assassin. Now virtus.pro can still go for a melee assassin, but it's not going to be as powerful as it would have been with an Uther together. in their case now, they need a bit of damage as well. So they need to think about Falstad, they need to think about Reyna, they can also like think about Vala, for example. We see a lot of teams these days also head into a Sylvana, so that's most like the heroes that we are seeing here. Keep Zagara in mind as well, who's very strong on Dragonshire, Tomb of the Spider Queen, and basically like on all of the maps, especially for Vision in particular. So they could play with the Zagara here if they really wanted to. They have at this point quite a few options. I still would think that they're going to take at least Falstad as one of them, since he is very, very strong and he's one of the most prioritized heroes in the European scene. But they start things off with that Zagara that I was just now mentioning. Usually you see her at the top lane, trying to play that lane solo and with a lot of creep tumors. On this map in particular, she's great to just get control of one of the shrines, since she has a lot of vision on the lane where she's at. And also next to the vision, she's also able to just push early game heroes back quite easily thanks to all those hunter killers. Pushing those out is for her usually pretty easy. But at this point, they need to really make a choice what else they want to drop here. And as I said, they could go into that Falstad, but right now they choose a Reyna instead. So no Falstad for them, but Reyna has a few disadvantages compared to the bird, but at the same time, he has, of course, also that sustain that is a little bit stronger, doesn't really have that, doesn't have an escape, but he has good zoning also with his Hyperion, which is very powerful indeed. For Fnatic, though, they could now go into Falstad if they wanted to. They are still short an auto-attack damage dealer if they want one. They have Sonya and Karazim already. They need a frontliner now, too. A Johanna would be an option. There's a couple of things that they can actually do when it comes to the frontliner. We've seen teams head into a few more Leorics. He's more popular in the Chinese scene and in the North American scene, but they go for a Chen. Chen here has a very interesting role now. The reason that they picked Chen is not only that later in the game he can be a very tanky frontliner. Chen is one of the few heroes that can go up against the Zagara in lane and can really bully Zagara. And they pick a Johanna then next to it. So that's a very smart setup. A lot of people look at this and they're like, oh my god, why did they pick Chen? And the reason is really that with Chen, you can play against Zagara quite efficiently. Chen can bully her, and every time that Hydralist comes in, Chen just hits the brew and gets his shield back up, and you can get a lot of control on this map. There's a lot of teams that really just pick Chen because they want to have a counter against Zagara, but of course, he is also a little bit more effective than only that, but this is a very, very strong setup for them. They rely on Kel'Thas as the only damage dealer in the back, and they're going for 3 melee warriors up at the front line with another melee for the heals, Karazim, and him with his Transcendence. He is, of course, going to be able to just like heal all these melee heroes. Malfurion for virtus.pro. Now that's an interesting choice. That's something that you see a lot on the North American server, where a Kel'Thas is oftentimes countered with a Malfurion. One of the things that Malfurion can really do here is, of course, also give mana to Zagara, which is going to be quite important. What they could have done as well is a Brightwing. Brightwing has the mobility on the map that is oftentimes needed on Dragonshire. They decide to go into the Malfurion. His tranquility is amazing, and there's a lot of things that he can really bring to the table with those heals. But it's a little bit unorthodox for Europe. It's not unheard of or anything. Malfurion is really good and he is picked, but currently on the European scene we see other heroes a little bit more than him, but in this case he can deliver that mana at the beginning to all the other heroes. He has great heals as well, so he's a very solid hero. Is lacking an escape though when he gets jumped later on. So a pretty solid draft for both of the teams. We're going to check out which team is going to take the lead here at the Heroes Battle Arena between virtus.pro and Fnatic on Dragonshire. Yeah, guys, we just got our invite, and let's see who's gonna take the first one here. For me personally, the first important which team has actually taken the host, so that I can adjust that. But yep, that's already solid and set up. Okay, I like that. That's good. Good draft. Good draft. Let's see, it looks good. Let's see. All good in the hood. Yeah, game should actually be starting soon. I think I need to update that. There we go. Okay, cool. I hope that you guys are ready for this. So yeah, Chen as a counter to Zagara is actually quite common by now. Well, I won't really say it's common, but it's something that you see oftentimes. Or a little bit more often these days. So, let me adjust that real quick. That's a little bit better. Okay, cool. And we have Antihero playing for, if I'm not mistaken, Fnatic now. So yeah, apparently Quacknick's not able to play today. That's another hero where we will play Chen. Sorry, I need to click over here that the webcam is not lagging. But yeah, We're going into our first game to check that out. So guys, get ready. Game number 1 is starting up now. And let's find out which team is going to take it here. Because right now we have 2 solid setups already. We have a substitute player here today for Fnatic. We're going to go over that during the game, of course, once again. But yeah, pretty solid setup for the 2 teams. And let's find out together which team is going to take the lead in the best of 3 series here at the Heroes Battle Arena. Our only best of 3 today. Keep that in mind. And well, let's get the show on the road. So currently we're just like on the loading screen, and let me double check the lineups. I think that's the only substitute that we have today. And yes, indeed, only Antihero is subbing in. He's currently playing that Chen, therefore Quacknix also not playing Sonya, but it is in this case Shat. He has played Sonya most of the time when Quacknix went on Falstad, but over here it works out, I mean, for both of them quite nicely, especially, of course, since Antihero is a very good Chen player. It's one of his preferred heroes, and that definitely played also a role during the draft, but as I already said before, Chen, a very, very nice hero when you're going up against the Zagara, because you have a very solid laning phase, and normally Zagara gives you more or less a free shrine on Dragonshire, but in this case right now you can really start to bully her quite a bit, and that usually works quite well. So yeah, let's get into this and check out game number 1. Game number 1, everybody, starting up here at the Heroes Battle Arena with Fnatic going up against virtus.pro, and to the left side of the map it is Breeze on Johanna for Fnatic. We have Smexy Style on Karazim, Shat on Sonya, we see Mane on Kel'Thas, and we have Chen, played by Antihero, who is currently subbing in for Quacknix. As far as I know, it's his birthday today, so that's why he's currently not playing with the team, apparently, like partying hard. Up to the right side, it is virtus.pro, and we have BKB on Muradin, Sefkaja on Reyna, we have Unstable on Malfurion, Power of Dream on Tassadar, and Andilendi on Zagara. Now, as of course mentioned already before, Antihero in particular is a very solid Chen player, which is definitely one of the reasons why they went for the hero here today. But at the same time, it's also a very good hero against Zagara at the top lane. And currently, they're already trying to set up a bit of a trap here. Looking at the talents on level 1, we don't really see too many things out of the ordinary yet, but not all of the heroes have picked their talents yet. We see Moonburn for Tassa, for Malfurion, which was of course more or less something that we expected here. Big focus into the mid lane right now, where they just burst the wave away and they're going in straight again. We have a very melee-focused setup here on the side of Fnatic, and it's not really a surprise. Kel'Thas works quite well if you have this many melee heroes, and up at the top lane we have now Sefkaja and Antihero. There's already a bit of a shift with the laning. You can see that Zagara is not going to the typical top lane where we normally see her. She might actually stay at the bot lane with other heroes as well, because they are reacting to the draft that we've seen from Fnatic. So the draft already influencing the way that they are setting up the heroes on lane. In any other constellation, you would have seen that Zagara very likely setting up position up at the top lane and trying to secure the shrine. But since there is going to be that Chen playing, they need to make something against that. And of course, if you have Sefkaja on Reyna, then he with his penetrating round can interrupt Antihero as soon as he starts going for the shield. So that's going to be a very interesting battle up here at the top lane. And it forced the hand of virtus.pro quite a bit. And down to the bot lane now, they have Zagara running in here. Shat getting kind of low, needed to get away there. And we have an adjustment in talents. Raider's recruitment has been taken as the level 1 talent. Very, very rarely that you see that. Actually, it's the first time that I've personally seen it. So this is really interesting, because at this point, it's basically like his own version of Bribe, and it's pretty cool to see that. So far, I've never really seen that talent on Reyna, but then again, when we're talking virtus.pro, they are a team that really likes to experiment with not only builds and lineups, but also, of course, with new talents, and that's what we're seeing here. Warpaint on Sonya for the sustain during the fights, and Power of Dream goes down as Sonya moves in with a spear and slams Tassadar into the next universe. He is already down. There's the level 4s as well. Chen, of course, going for his talent. Shat is low. Can they get him, though? He's already moving away, and here comes the jump by BKB. Breeze doesn't even have to take action. Muradin is already dead, and that's a double kill for Fnatic. They are extremely powerful these days, and for very good reason. We have right now Swift Reflexes taken. There's already a Dragonite, but the Roaches are interrupting that for now. Shat is still moving in with the Whirlwind, trying to get some sustain so that he gets gets his hit points back, but it was a very sweet interrupt here from Andilendi, who's trying to prevent the Dragon Knight for as long as he possibly can. Now in level 4, we still have the focus attack for Reyna. Could have gone for Give Me More or for the Seasoned Marksman on level 1, didn't do that. Power of Dream now zoning out Mena as much as he can. And down to the bot lane, we're seeing two heroes trying to go for a Shrine. Smexy style is trying to hold it for as long as he possibly can, but he has to move away, and that means in the mid lane there's no Dragon Knight possible anymore. Bottom lane, once again, here comes Shat, fully healed. He can go in and force Unstable back. BKB is with him, but they get control of the Shrine again. Fnatic, that is. They're already on level 6. They have the control of 2, and here's Breeze, and he gets the Dragon Knight. 3 minutes into the game, and he's moving in with the Dragon Knight into the mid lane. We have him on level 4 with the Laws of Hope taken as the talent choice. And of course, at the same time now also the pretty normal talents with the Netherwind, with the Protective Shield and the focus attack for Kalthas, Karazhan, and Sonya. Yeah, Unstable and virtus.pro, they are roughly a level behind already, and that's of course a bit of an issue here. They lost 2 of the heroes, now they're up against the Dragon Knight and the level 7 of their opponent, and that results in a heavy push down to the bot lane, where we are seeing Fnatic trying to capitalize on that lead that they have, and they are doing a very solid job. They have now the Brewmaster's balance after the swift reflexes on Chen, and are heading straight into the Ferocious Healing for Sonya, wearing the Fission Bomb for Kalthas, and Conviction for Breeze. The wall already gone, and that experience lead that we've been talking about for Fnatic is just increasing. They're going for the bot lane, and as soon as the well is down, the sustain on lane is going to be so much more difficult for Power of Dream and any hero that moves down to the bot lane here. They might even lose the fort if they don't rotate down, and they're just now sending heroes down from the mid and the top lane, and that might be a bit too late. Now, Fnatic has to move back at least. Nice Iron Skin use here by Breeze, making sure that that Storm Ball didn't stun him out. But that's, of course, a very tricky situation for them now. Zagara went straight into Rapid Incubation for the lane sustain on level 7, and after the Rampant Growth from Furin on level 4, we are now seeing him with the Enduring Growth. So full heal talents as of now. We don't have any attempt to go into Cleanse or anything like it. The question, of course, is going to be if he feels the need to head straight into that Ice Block on level 13, or if we are going to see Life Seed as well. Down to the bot lane, on the other hand, there's a fight for one of the camps, and it looks like we're going to see, yeah, virtus.pro is going to steal this one. They get the camp stolen away. That's at least a small victory for them. But right now, to the top lane, we're seeing Sefkaje in trouble. Anti-hero goes in, gets the kill. Well played here. Great job by him. And Breeze is even moving up to the top to help him out with this. They are going to de-push that camp, and they are extremely close to level 10 now as well. That should be an easy level 10 for them. And they have a 1.5 level lead at that point already, which kind of means that they will dominate this map for the next 1.5 levels. And that is going to be pretty tricky for especially virtus.pro, since they might lose another Dragon Knight because of it. Now we have that battle finally between Chen and Zagara at the top lane, and you can already tell that Andilendi is taking quite some damage here. 7-sided strike has been chosen. Anti-hero did not go into the Wandering Hack, but instead went into Storm, Earth and Fire. We're having the Wrath of the Berserker. We're seeing Phoenix and the Blessed Shield taken. And BKB is trying to help out Andilendi at the top lane. Nah, Chen has to get away from this one. Not quite sure if he can though, but here's the Storm, Earth and Fire. Better safe than sorry. Uses his heroic and jumps in again. He's not gonna go down yet. And we have a 2-level lead for Fnatic in this first game of the best of 3 series. Down to the bot lane, the fort has fallen, and without the heroic ability, it's going to be a nightmare for virtus.pro to try and deny that Dragon Knight now. Breeze is already moving into the mid lane, and that's an easy Dragon Knight right there. Or is it? Unstable moves in, Moonfires Breeze, interrupts him, and Breeze is heading straight into the lane now and trying to get the minion wave. At the top lane, we have one of the shrines captured by virtus.pro, and they're very close to level 10 now themselves. As down to the bot lane, Shad and Sefkaja are still fighting against each other. Of course, that penetrating round of Sefkaja is also able to just interrupt that whirlwind. Tazada went down, he was obliterated, and that leaves Fnatic again with nearly a 2-level lead over their opponents. 4 kills against 0, and they're starting to take the camps of their opponents away now as well. There's 4 heroes over here. Muradin jumps in, a bit too late. That was a bit ballsy as well, because, well, he would have been 2 versus 4. And this is going to be a safe Dragon Knight for Breeze. No chance for virtus.pro to interrupt this one. They already start moving in here. Breeze on his way into the middle. They're close to, well, not really close, but they're aiming for level 13 now. And level 13 alone is already going to be the next talent. And virtus.pro, they really need a few kills now. They need to do something. Take a few kills, take a few structures, because at this point, they are just trailing behind and somehow trying to get back into the game. But it's really tricky for them. This might be a chance for them. Nice force wall. They go for main and they get the kill against Kalthas. That's exactly what they need right now. A few good kills, and they are trying to make that too. Here comes the 7-sided strike as a dodge against the more Smexy style with the power plays here. I'm loving it. BKB missing the Storm Bolt, and now the dash by Smexy gets away. Great Charism play right there. Dodging them all with the 7-sided strike was beautiful. Now he has to move away too though, and he can't dash away. He dies in the end. And down over here we have still that Dragonite active. Level 13 talents are ready. Breeze is dropping out, tries to go in with a Blessed Shield, but misses. Anilendi can't secure the kill. And down here Shad is now trying to get away. Antihero attempting to zone for him. Here's already the Storm. Shad has the Mystic Spear, can use it, and jumps away. Well done. Sefkashe on Reyna in a little bit of trouble now. As a result, he overextended just slightly. Breeze and Antihero trying to go in and jump him. That's exactly what they're doing right now. Double Relentless taken for Chen and also Charism. They go in again, and here's the kill against Reyna. Kalthas is dead as well though. Second time that Mena dies now. Shad moves in against BKB. BKB doesn't have the cooldown. Oh, the spear misses, but still, there's no way that he's going to survive this, is there? BKB might be able to jump away. He might try though, but here comes Shad, moves in and hammers him into the ground. BKB jumping away, but Smexy style is already waiting for him, and now Shad is finishing what he started. The kill against BKB, that was the 6th kill for the team. We have 6 versus 3 kills, level 14 versus level 12. A long fight that we just saw there. And we have now 2 forts eliminated. Actually, let me double check. Yeah, 2 forts have been eliminated. We have only the one at the top lane still remaining. Very, very well done here. Once again, Breeze is starting to move in. Kalthas, of course, has at this point his Chain Bomb on level 13. That is going to help him to dish some of the damage out. In the last 2 fights, he was a bit unlucky and got taken out here right away. Now, though, he took one of the camps on the map, the Bruiser camp, claiming that, increasing the push up at the top. And with the level 13 talent that we're seeing now for virtus.pro, they're once again on the same talent as Fnatic, but not for long. BKB is already there. They're jumping on Sefkashe. They're trying to go in and take him down. We have now also the Prescience taken. Here comes the 7-sided strike. Sonya is going in with the Breath of Berserker straight for Unstable, who uses Tranquility and gets away. BKB is moving in, jumps in, tries to stun, but we have now Anilendi in a bit of trouble. He's getting attacked immediately, doesn't get away. He explodes, used the more just before that. It's a 5 versus 4 against virtus.pro though. Fnatic is on the move, going for BKB. They move in and they get him. The kill against Mirrodin after a great gravity lapse from Mena. His Kalthas play here, really solid. Died 2 times, but he was spot on in the rest of the fights. They go for the first keep of the game. They have level 16 now, a 2.5 level lead. The Kalthas going straight for the Arcane Barrier. On level 16 now, we have the Pressure Point. Brewmaster's Balance is mentioned before as the level 7 talent, and the Swift Reflexes on level 4 for Chen. And on level 16, we have the Circle of Life, Imposing Presence, and No Escape for Sonya. Shad playing a very aggressive Sonya style here now, and he's of course trying to carry that through the game. 2 heroes killed once again in level 16 versus level 13, so now we have down here to the bot lane not only a camp taken but also the shrine claimed. Sefkashe is a little bit too late to really interrupt that. Mena knows what's happening here, and therefore they're starting to jump in again. Breeze is going for the Dragonite and he gets it. That's one more Dragonite for Fnatic. Dragonite number 3. The fight is already ongoing down to the bot lane though, but that Bruiser camp is helping out Fnatic, and here comes Breeze moving in, trying to punt Malfurion away, and he is successful. Kicks him out. The healer gone for now, and Sefkashe has to rush away here. BKB also on the retreat, and Tassadar, of course, is trying to just preload everybody with the shields. 7-sided strike used on the other hand, and once again Fnatic is trying to chase their opponents. Here comes Malfurion with the Tranquility. Had to use it to keep them alive. Breeze is moving in. The keep already gone, but they're trying to go for core here apparently. They're trying to go for the lockdown. Can they get a kill before they start going for core? Doesn't look like it. They kick Sefkashe away with his Reyna, but everybody else on the side of virtus.pro is still on full health, and so far it doesn't look like Fnatic can end it here. Antihero has to actually move away there. Once again a force wall, not trapping anybody though. Level 17 versus level 14, and Breeze is now starting to rotate straight into the middle to at least drop a tower or 2, whereas the rest of virtus.pro is finishing off the wave and then starts to rotate into the middle as well. Breeze already on the move back. He was able to eliminate one of the towers, but not more than that. Hydralisk is already on the way, and here comes Breeze moving backward. Great play so far by Fnatic. Really nice rotations on the map. They get the Dragonites, they control the objective, and that draft is really working out well for them. When it comes to damage, Kalthas is at 30,000 right now. We have Reyna on 39,000 on the other hand, doing an incredible job here, even without the seasoned marksman. Sefkajo, of course, didn't really get too much out of his level 1 talent just yet. I mean, he went for the Raiders recruitment, but I don't really feel that he got his money worth out of it. I feel that in this game, it would have probably been a bit better for him to go for seasoned marksman. I mean, hindsight is always 20/20. You don't know at the start of the game how much you will be pressured by your opponent, and so far the game hasn't really been going in their favor, so that was a bit of an issue, but that definitely didn't help. Now a quick pause here by the Russians, trying to get ready. Not quite sure what the problem is, but I hope it's going to be resolved soon. We have still a 2-level, 3-level lead nearly on the side of Fnatic, and over here we see the entirety of virtus.pro starting to rotate into the middle to try and meet this attack that we're seeing from Fnatic. They have all 5 heroes here, and so far we have 8 kills against 5 in this game. And of course, it's going to be a pretty tricky without a level 60 talent to really do something against all of this aggression that we're currently seeing in the mid lane here. Fnatic is at least going to get the wall, and they're trying to go for the second keep. They already eliminated the one at the bot lane. And keep in mind that at the bot lane, we also have now 2 mercenaries pushing in. The 2 siege giants together with the catapults are going to make it very difficult to hold this lane without rotating any heroes in. And that's something that virtus.pro will have to do. So it's really a bit of a dicey situation that we're seeing here for them. They have to somehow react to the bot lane once that it starts pushing in, and they have to meet that push that we see from Fnatic in the middle. There's not a single fort that has been claimed by virtus.pro just yet, and as you can see, all of the towers at the bot lane and the mid lane and at the top lane are also still in play. So not a single structure was taken out by virtus.pro, and Fnatic is already going through the first keep and they are aiming for the second one. So this is starting to get worse and worse for virtus.pro here in at the Heroes Battle Arena. I mean, this entire series is of course just starting up now. We have with Dragonshire our first map, and let's find out if Fnatic can really take it, or if virtus.pro is starting a comeback. Once they hit level 16, they will have a fair amount of time where they can just like start to play on even talents against their opponents. So that is one of the things that can really work out here. Once again, we're seeing them starting to move in here. Anti-Hero, Breeze, Chat, Mane, and Smexy style are already on the move, going straight in for the kill against the wall, and they take it down. And we have once more, of course, the move straight for the BKB at the front line. He's the only tank for the team, and that makes things a little bit tricky. We have also the move down straight for the well. Bot lane is still pushing, as already mentioned, and Power of Dream is positioning himself at between the 2 lanes so that he can use the Storm as well to just zone this out a bit. The wave is starting to push in, and Fnatic is continuing the pressure in the mid lane at the same time. Over here, we already have it happening. Down here, on the other hand, though, those catapults are really going to start to take the shield away from the core. So it's a tricky position for virtus.pro, as mentioned before. Actually, the 2 mercenaries are going straight for the keep in the mid lane as well. That is a really annoying position at this point, and here comes Fnatic trying to protect them as well. Very tricky for virtus.pro. They use the Hyperion, but Muradin gets blown to pieces. He barely is able to be kept alive by Tassadine and Malfurion. That was crazy that they could save him, but it's Reyna that dies now, and BKB, he might fall as well if he moves to the front again. He needs to heal up. They're trying to go for core here most likely. At least the mid keep is something that they should destroy, and Shat is already moving in. The shields are gone and the first hit points are being removed. Level 16 isn't ready yet for virtus.pro, but it will be soon, so Fnatic has to make a choice. Do they really want to try and go for it, or do they retreat? If they retreat, they should at least go through the keep, but they have the core down to 84%. Mane is low though, and Shat is not looking too hot either. Smexy style dashes away, dashes back again, and they can't take the keep. They should have maybe focused on it just a bit. Shad, can he maybe go in? He could have sacrificed himself and take it out, but that wasn't quite possible apparently. So at this point, they were a bit indecisive. They didn't really know if they wanted to go for keep or not, if they wanted to go for the core instead. Now it's 16 versus 16 talents, but it's still a 3-level lead, and Breeze is aiming for the next Dragonite. With the level 16 talents, we have Muradin now with the Stone form, Bullseye for Reyna, Hardened Focus on Malfurion, who decided against Tenacious Roots, and the Dimensional Warp for Tassadar, so that he has some extra sustain during these battles. With the Brood expansion coming in for Zagara, which is of course heavily going to increase her damage. Anti-Hero could even think about moving into the mid lane and try to take this. On the other hand, if they get a Dragonite, then they would be able to go through the keep immediately. Fnatic still looking very, very strong here, though. Once again, Sefkaje, Anilendi, Unstable, and Power of Dream are starting to rotate around. Top lane is being de-pushed. Chad, of course, has to face that camp at some point, but he doesn't really know the position of all 5 heroes of the opponent, so he stays on his mount for now and doesn't really engage the wave. Instead, they're just poking down here at the bottom, trying to go for level 20. Once again, they're starting to jump in immediately and go for BKB, and he goes down. It's a 5 versus 4, and that's a disaster now for virtus.pro. Once again, the attack against Unstable. Hyperion is zoning him out for a second. The Gravity Lapse doesn't hit, but they can now move in and go for the next Dragonite. And that's exactly what we're seeing Breeze do, but he stays a bit too long in the range of the Hyperion. Has to wait a few more seconds, but now he has the Dragonite ready, and they are starting to move straight down to the bot lane. So now we have Anti-Hero splitting with the Storm Earth and Fire. He goes for the keep immediately, and let's find out what they can do. I mean, this is going to be game. Yeah, definitely a bit of a question also if Sefkaja really wanted to go for the Reyna's recruitment. I kind of doubt it at this point. I think it was probably a misclick at level 1 here. But then again, I don't feel that it would have made a huge difference for them. They're starting to move in. The core here is going to fall. Reyna is dead. And now they are starting to just hammer down that core. And this is going to be game number 1 in favor of Fnatic in this best of 3 series at the Heroes Battle Arena, powered by G2A and Twitch.